My dear friends, we shall continue with our reflections on the Ten Commandments. According to the Catechism of the Catholic Church, the commandments express man's fundamental duties towards God and towards his neighbor. And therefore, the Ten Commandments, by their very nature, reveal grave obligations. They are fundamentally immutable or unchangeable, and they bind always and everywhere. No one can dispense from them. God has engraved or implanted these commandments in the heart of man. Today we shall take up the first commandment for our reflections. The first commandment says, I am the Lord your God. You shall not have other gods besides me. I am the Lord your God. You shall not have other gods besides me. This is obviously a short catechetical formula, a short catechetical wording. And this short formula gives us the reason why they should not have other gods. Whereas the longer formula which we find in Exodus and Deuteronomy gives the reasons why people should not have other gods. I am the Lord your God who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. And therefore you shall not have other gods to honor them, to bow down to them, or to worship them. You shall also not make any graven image, either in likeness of something in heaven or on earth or under the earth, and serve them. I am the Lord who liberated you from the slavery of Egypt. Therefore, you shall not have other gods to serve them. You shall serve only the Lord God who brought you out of the land of Egypt. The first commandment demands that we believe in God and bear witness to Him. It requires on the part of man faith, hope, and love. Faith in the loving and merciful God demands that we love Him above everything else. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6, verses 4 to 6. And Exodus and the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 22, verse 37. The first commandment demands that you worship the Lord your God in Matthew 4:10, adoring God, praying to Him, offering Him worship that belongs to Him, fulfilling the vows or promises that you have made to God. All this will come under the first commandment. Now, against the first commandment are idolatry, atheism, magic of all kinds, superstitions, the practice of Satan worship, black mass, Satan's rosary, the use of Ojo board, which is a board which is part of the occult practice. And the sectarian groups like Jehovah's Witness, Emperor Emmanuel Trust, Pentecostal groups, Heavenly Banquet, Protestant groups, born-again Christians, Spirit and Jesus, the upper room, etc., are all against the first commandment. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. You shall not serve other gods. You shall not bow down to other gods. This is the first commandment. The first commandment also forbids making graven images. You shall not make for yourself a graven image. The church understands this prohibition to make graven images not as a second commandment, but as an explanation of the first commandment, which forbids idols and idol worship. Whoever venerates an image venerates the person behind it, says Saint Basil. A number of ecumenical councils also have approved the making of images, sacred images. Councils like the Second Council of Nicaea, the Council of Trent, and the Second Vatican Council constitutions of on the liturgy and on the church. The councils have spoken about the legitimacy of making sacred images and venerating them. The veneration of the sacred image is a respectful veneration of the person behind the image, and not an adoration which is due to God alone. So, the duty to offer God authentic worship concerns man as an individual and as a social being. In short, the first commandment summons man to believe in God, to hope in Him, and to love Him above everything else.